My name is Thomas Clyde, and welcome to Paco's Guide to Poisons. So, to start us off, a new thing I haven't done yet is have a table of contents in the PDFs that I sell. This PDF came out to be 25 pages, so having an actual table of contents is going to help a lot when you want to find anything specific. And so, 25 pages is a lot. And so you have two options with this PDF because there are two main halves. You have the first half, which is meta information about how poisons should be used in your game and anything you're going to encounter within the section of the poisons. And then the second half of the PDF is filled with 31 completely unique poisons that I have created from scratch. Each of these poisons is organized by a condition that they are closest to causing. For example, there are four poisons in the blinding type poison section, but not all of them specifically cause the blind condition. They affect a creature's sight negatively, and that's why they're organized like that. So keep that in mind when you are sorting through all of the types of poisons and how they're organized. Something important about these poisons is that every single one has a way to be created in the game. So that means that every single poison has a source and a method to actually create it. So let's go into what that entails. Devil's Shimmer is a very good example of these things in action because Devil's Shimmer is made through Devil's Blood. I gave it a survival DC of 17 to extract, and you have to distill it in order to actually receive the poison. Every single poison in this book follows this to some degree, where it has a method to be found and a DC to be extracted with. So let's take a look at Devil's Shimmer to see how these poisons are going to be organized. The first paragraph is going to be dedicated to two main pieces of need to know information: what type of poison it is, and the DC used to extract it. The rest of the first paragraph is likely going to be dedicated to descriptions of where the poison is located, how it looks like, or how you might witness it before you yourself get poisoned. The second paragraph contains the saving throws, the DCs, the damage dice, and any other effects that you might come under if you succumb to the poison. The third paragraph tends to be a slight continuation of that in however manner it needs to be. So let's truly look at Devil's Shimmer. Ingested. Distilled devil's blood yields a tasteless, clear liquid. When mixed with drinks, it gives an almost perfectly reflective surface. Survival DC 17 to extract. A creature that consumes any devil's shimmer must make a DC 17 charisma saving throw or be affected by the poison. While under the effects of the poison, the creature is frightened of every other creature that it can see. The affected creature may make this save again at the end of each of its turns in order to end the effect early. Otherwise, the poison lasts for 10 minutes. A creature that succeeds the saving throw is unaffected and may be suspicious of the way they ingested it. I really hope I did a good job of making these poisons understandable because a couple of them do tend to get a little funky, but for the most part, they're along the lines of a very vanilla type of game. So let's have a look at one of the funkier types of poisons. Tunnel leaf, injury. A plant identified by fine white hairs that cover its leaves. Distilling to a thin black oil activates potency. High precipitation environments. Survival DC 14 to find. Applying tunnel leaf to a weapon makes the next attack grant a special effect. When the weapon deals damage, the creature takes a 1d8 poison damage and makes a DC 14 Constitution saving throw. On a failure, it treats all creatures besides the initial attacker invisible. Once a creature that was considered invisible makes an attack against the affected creature, it is no longer considered invisible. The effect lasts for 1 minute, and creatures that succeed the saving throw are unaffected. As you can see, Tunnel Leaf has a pretty unique effect compared to a lot of things that you can see in Dungeons and Dragons. So I hope that applying a lot of poisons to this strange creativity is going to be really fun to use in game because a lot of them have these utility effects, besides, of course, the damage poisons. So all of the poisons usually cause an effect that you get after failing a saving throw. But just to make sure I covered all my bases, I decided to include a section called Damage Type Poison. All of the poisons in this section are just based around dealing extra damage. This can range from, as you might be able to see on the screen, 60d4 plus 120 poison damage. This is, of course, over a very long duration. But it can range from a very high number like that to just a simple 1d4 bonus poison damage on each weapon attack. Like I said, this is just to make sure I had all my bases covered because I know if I was playing a poisoner type of character, I would want one that just does a little extra damage just to have in my back pocket. At the very end of the book is a brief section about creating your poisons as well as a little bit about me. If you do like my content and appreciate the work that I do, make sure to follow my YouTube channel because I don't know if all of my content is going to be released through Dungeon Masters Guild. I already have plans for free content that's going to be through links on my YouTube channel. So if you want to stay up to date with what I release, go subscribe there just to keep in touch. And thanks for purchasing or even just looking at Paco's Guide to Poisons.